Have you seen Jane Fonda lately? She looks amazing and she's not exactly young. However, she does not look amazing because she is still sticking with her 80s workout videos. It's time to ditch the shoulder pads, even though I think they're making a comeback, but let's not do that. And outdated fitness philosophies and discover what actually works for your body and actually for hers right now. So she's evolved. She's evolved her philosophies. She's evolved her understanding because she has stayed up with science. She has stayed up with current research and current understanding. And the problem is, those of us that grew up back in the 80s and 90s have not. And well, I have, but many haven't. And we're still subscribing to those old philosophies. We're still sticking with the very, very old school way of being healthy and being fit. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why 80s thinking does not apply today. And I think some of them might surprise you, but you may know some. So let's dive in. The first one, your body is unique. Duh. But we still are trying to use these one size fits all approaches. We're still trying to fit everyone into the same cookie cutter mold. That was popular back then because we didn't know that much. But now we understand that my needs are different than your needs. And that's a huge part of what I do with my clients in my program. Nutrition, we now know, is more than just calories, or at least I hope we now know that. We're starting to figure that out. We used to think just cutting calories was the way to go. You just eat less and you lose weight. That's not all the way true now. Yes, you still can't overindulge in calories because it's still a math and a thermogenesis thing, but nutrition is much more complex than that. Understanding macros, nutrients, phytochemicals, and all the processed crap and what it does to your body is critical. Just because something like xylitol doesn't have any calories doesn't mean it's good. That's for another soapbox on another day, or you can catch my last blog that I just wrote about it. Strength training. In the 80s, we did step aerobics. I went with my mom to the non-step aerobics and the step aerobics like crazy. No women really lifted weights. It was not a thing. If we did, they did. It was like the little cute 2-pound dumbbells while you were doing your aerobics class, right? Now we know that strength training and building muscle is critical to not just looking good and, feeling good, but it actually has a major effect on your metabolism. And it also has an effect on your longevity. It has an effect on your hormones and regulating them. Huge. Last but not least, preventing osteoporosis, preventing bone density loss. Muscle mass and bone density go hand in hand. They are twins. If you don't have one, you don't have the other. So while step aerobics is still a thing, and I'm all about a good, fun cardio class, that's not really the very best way to accomplish your goals. It's a piece of the puzzle, but not the whole puzzle. Health is about balance. In the 80s, we were all about extreme measures. They cut out entire food groups. First, it was fat was the enemy, and then they moved on to a couple other carbs. I think in the 90s, it was shakes and bars, and it was not eating certain meals, and that just doesn't work. It's not sustainable. Number one, it's miserable, and number two, your body will adapt to that crap, and you'll actually gain weight. So there's a whole bunch of other reasons. A lot of those ingredients cause cancer. They destroy your liver. There's like a whole host of reasons to not live on bars and shakes. Some supplements, like mine, it's fine. Have one shake. You don't need to have it every meal of the day and then have one lean and green meal at the end of the day. You can actually eat real food every meal. Last but not least, I love self-care, and it is not selfish. Back then, self-care was not popular. I don't even know that the term self-care was even used. I was a little too young to pay attention to that. But I will tell you that it was not a thing to prioritize your self-care, whether they use the term or not. It was about the hustle, the grind, the getting the money, the Gordon Geckos of the world, right? Greed is king. Taking care of yourself is essential. It is essential not just for vanity, but for overall health and sanity. I've said that so many times before. If you would like to know more about prioritizing your self-care, or why muscle matters, or why how to figure out this whole nutrition thing, and why, for example, xylitol is bad for you. As I mentioned, I have a whole host of information. I have written blogs every week for close to 6 years. There's a shit ton of them on there. So follow me, subscribe to my mailing list if you're not already on it, so that you can get that stuff in your inbox and I can continue to educate you. And let's connect on social media. If you're watching me on one channel, but we're not connected on another, let's connect on all of them, because I share different information in different places. And it is my hope and my pleasure, if you listen, to help you not be a victim of the 80s culture or the 90s or even the 2000s, because now we have more research, more information, and more tools at our disposal than we ever have. Science is awesome. I didn't think so when I was a kid, but I've turned into a science geek because I really like the facts and the figures, and I like to share that with you. So if we're not connected on all the socials, let's connect. If you're not on my emailing list, please get on there, because I send super secret information that I don't put on social media every week to my subscribers. So let's connect.